Hey guys, it's Jamie, bringing you recovery-inspired hope. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jamie Tall. Today I have a very special interview with my friend Mallory Fountain today, and Mallory, where is it that you work at?
I am a NICU nurse at Rockdale Medical Center. Well, it's actually Piedmont Rockdale Medical now. It's been that for almost 2 years now, but yeah, that's what I'm a NICU nurse. I've done NICU for 14 years now.
Awesome. So you live in Athens, you work in Rockdale, and you get to work with babies all day.
I do get to work with babies all day.
So tell us a little bit about what it's like working with babies all day.
Babies are fun. Babies are loud. You can't tell the baby to be quiet and then listen. No, in all seriousness, I love my job. Babies are, it's amazing to see the life and to see them grow. I've seen babies as small as a pound to grow and go home. I've actually seen the smallest baby I've seen that's grown, that was born and made it home, was 15 ounces at birth.
Wow.
And to just see the growth that they make over the time, the fight that they have in them, it's just amazing. People think we just sit around and rock babies all night long, but it's completely different. I mean, there is a lot of love and care given to those babies in that aspect of loving them and caring them when their families can't be there. But there's also a lot of tough times and stuff. But it's good. It's a good job. I love it.
So now, when it comes to babies who come out who are dependent due to moms and substance use disorder, what is that like?
In those situations, it can be difficult at times because the babies tend to have a little bit of this. They have symptoms just like a mom would if mom is cutting any kind of meds cold turkey or substances at cold turkey. They have the same kind of symptoms that a mom would or a dad if cutting that line of drug that they were used to getting. But at the same time, it's a time to just show love to that family and try to help them get through that hard time. They need the love at that time, the parents do, because a lot of them have a lot of guilt. A lot of them know why their baby's there and what it feels like. And so they do well with people being very supportive of them and helping them through that time.
Now, as far as programs go in the hospital for moms with substance use disorder, what does that look like?
I'm not sure what all programs are available. I do know that social workers get involved, and they are there to help the families and to get them the resources that they need. I know that they're supportive of them, helping them get the resources that they need. But being that I work night shift, I don't see a lot of social workers because they work during the day.
Okay.
But I do know that they are there to help them reach out to the family to get them the support that they need, help them to get down the avenues that they need to do what they need to do to get better for themselves, to be there for their babies.
Okay, so then at your specific hospital, they don't have peer services where a peer who has been through substance use disorder and are in recovery come in and work with the moms.
Not that I'm aware of, but that could be something that they do. I'm personally not aware of it.
Do you think that would be helpful to have peers in your NICU where they would come in and sit with the moms and the babies and be able to talk them through some things, maybe breaking some chains of that guilt and shame?
I do think that would help. I mean, I can only imagine that somebody who's been through it is going to have the better advice than somebody who hasn't been through it.
Yes.
I can be there and support the moms as much as I possibly can, but I don't know what they're going through and physically or emotionally. So I'm not as much of a support as somebody who had been through it would be. So I do think that would be a great resource that could be made available to the families. in those situations.
So tell me, what challenges do families with babies in the NICU face?
I think a lot of the challenges that we've already kind of touched on is the guilt and the you know, the shame, or however you want to put it, of everybody in the hospital knows why their baby's in the hospital. And so I'm sure that them even just walking in the unit have a hard time, like, these people are probably judging me, or you know, this is what I'm going to have to face for the next however long my baby's here, because these people are going to look at me in a certain light. So I do feel like that they do touch, I'm sure they have a huge shame or guilt or whatever. Also, I think that goes along with that I think that they probably feel bad for what their baby's going through.
Right.
Another thing that I think that a huge challenge for these families is the separation of, like, this is a healthy term newborn, minus the fact the substance abuse situation. And how do I explain to my friends and my family why my term newborn, who's perfectly fine physically and everything, how do I explain to them why my baby's in the hospital, especially if they don't know? Like, I've had situations where moms have been like, you can't tell anybody else why my baby's here. And we're like, your baby could be here for 3 months.
Yeah.
What are we going to tell them 3 months down the road? Which we can't.
Right.
We can't say anything, obviously. But eventually that mom's going to have that conversation with somebody and let them know. And they're going to keep wondering why the baby's there. So I think, and I just think that that's a huge struggle for them. And just the fact that the shame comes through with that. You know, they're like, I have to face my own, what I've done, and tell my family, my friends, this is why my baby's here, and they have to kind of own up to it.
Right.
So I think that's a big, hurdle. Those are the main ones, I think. I mean, obviously there's other challenges, there can be transportation challenges, and just the cost of a baby being in the NICU is going to is astronomical, even if it's just a kid that's there for substance abuse and not requiring any other assistance medically. That's a huge struggle. And to think all of that, to go through that in your head, and to think about how long is it going to take for my baby to get off of these meds. And some of them recover really quick. Some of them really do. But I've also seen a term baby be there for months, and it just takes them that long to get off the meds. And it's a struggle. And you see it with the families. It's just hard. It's just hard.
Yes. So now, what about moms who are on like MAT medication, like Suboxone or methadone? What is that like?
Oh, it can be the same. Sometimes it just depends. Every baby does kind of withdrawals differently. There's a scoring system that we have to use as a nurse to score their symptoms. And sometimes prescribed meds can be just as bad as street meds, somebody getting meds from not prescribed to them. It kind of follows the same kind of pathway. They still have to come off the med and see how they do. The same resources are available to all. The social worker gets involved and does what the social worker needs to do and gets them the help. But as far as the care and the pathway or the plan of care for the baby, it typically is the same.
So how do you try to support the moms who are in there?
I just try to show them the love, like if it was my family, or I try my best not to pass judgment. Everybody has their own walk that they have to walk down, and I'm not in their shoes. I don't know what they've been through or what they're going through. So I just try my best to take care of the baby, give the mom the information that the mom needs about what's going on with the baby and be there to listen to her. A lot of times they just want to talk. They need somebody to listen to.
Right.
And if I'm, don't have another patient to run off to, I'll just sit and listen and talk to, and just be that support that if they need an ear to listen, and if they need somebody to just be there, to try to be there, just to try to be that person, to just not sit there and shame them. There's nothing at that point. What's done is done. You can't go back. You just have to move. And that's what I tell them. They'll say, I feel so bad. And I'm like, it's okay. What's done is done. Let's move forward from here. And that's what I try to remind them, and try to work with them and help them to realize that you can't change what happened throughout the pregnancy. At this point, you've got a baby here, and we've got to move from here.
Right.
And I try to help them to realize that they need the help too, that we're helping your baby. Take this time to help yourself too, get the help you need.
Right.
So.
And I wish that, care for this has changed a lot. So I don't know if you know this or not, but my daughter Delilah, when I had her in April of 2010, I was addicted to pain pills. And my daughter had to stay in the NICU for 6 weeks. And she was given some seizure medication and some other medication. And I wish that I had a nurse like you who was there to help me, because my experience back then, before we had peer support, before the recovery movement was really alive, there was a lot of judgment and a lot of shaming, and I was already just so broken.
Yeah.
So I wish that I would have had someone like you to be there, to be kind to me and listen to me. I truly think that would have made a complete difference in the things that happened after I did give birth to my daughter. So thank you so much for being who you are, and for being such a great light to these women, and for taking such good care of their babies while they can't. And thank you for everything you do. Mallory Fountain, love Mallory. Bye guys, we'll see you next time on Recovery Inspired Hope. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube, Jamie Tall. Bye.